Welcome to the Man Fire Podcast, where we uncover the elements of strong, effective men. This is episode number 2, A Menace to Society, Accountability in Today's World. A few weeks ago, I made a trip out to Utah to visit some extended family. While I was there, I ended up in one of those living room discussions with a number of older people. One of them was talking about her son, who's in his early 30s, and how he's struggling to find the woman that he wants to marry. One of the men sitting next to her on the couch brought up that Brigham Young once said that an unmarried man past the age of 26 is a menace to society. I wasn't quite sure I heard him right, so I asked him to repeat it, and it turns out that I heard him right. He said that any man who isn't married by the age of 26 is a menace to society. I'm not a Mormon, and my heart went out to this young man that's being told that because he hasn't found a wife, he is a menace. I don't believe this labeling or this accountability in this way is helping this young man. There's another side, though, to the comment that I support. A lot of men are being menaces in our society. All different ages, men that are in committed relationships, men that are married, and men that are single are acting like menaces in the world. I think we only pay attention to this, really, when it becomes an extreme. When a man needs attention so badly that he does some horrific act and kills lots of people. But the truth is, there is a lot of milder behavior that's just as menacing and draining and polluting that happens far beyond we get to that noticeable level. I've been dating much longer than I was hoping I would be. And a lot of the dating has been with women that I've met on dating apps. And it seems to me very clear that most of the men that these women have been on dates with are menaces in the society. They're not honest about who they are, whether their age, how they look, or whether or not they're already in a relationship. That dishonesty chips away and drains the good faith that we have between people, and particularly between men and women trying to find one another. There's also a prioritization on getting what one wants out of an encounter rather than looking for the right investment opportunity in an encounter. And when someone is looking to extract what they can, that's taking. And that's being a menace in the society. I don't think the solution to this is for men to necessarily marry by the age of 26, the way Brigham Young said. But I do think he had it right in the sense that we need an accountability to ourselves to know that we are not running amok in the society around us. In other points in history, men were allowed to call other men out on this type of behavior. I suppose we're allowed to now, but we're only allowed to do it verbally. And because there's so much anonymous interaction in the world, those words mean very little most of the time. We used to tar and feather men that were menaces in the society. Laws don't allow us as men to do that anymore. And while I don't think physical violence is the right way to deal with most situations, I think the absolute removal of it as a consequence is also misguided. Part of me wishes I lived in times when reputation meant something, when we could say what was a good man and who was a scoundrel. and we could band together to encourage the good behavior that led to being good men, and that we could verbally and physically stop men that behaved poorly. Maybe if I lived in those times, I would think differently on it, but as a man who was never allowed to get in one single fight on a playground, having never been hit in my face in my life, there is an element of my masculinity that lays uncovered. And I know it's a necessary part of my effective fulfillment as a man. I'm still looking for the right means, for the right channels of communication to express this accountability. I haven't found it yet, but I am convinced that the channels that I've been given and that I currently have at my disposal are insufficient. I want more accountability between men, more encouragement, and more shaming for shameful behavior. Visit manfiremovement.com for more.